Hello everyone and welcome to the session on rules for virtual functions. It is part 1. At the end of this session, student will be able to write C++ programs using the concept of virtual function. This video is in continuation with my previous video on virtual functions. Let's revise the concept of virtual functions. C++ supports runtime polymorphism with the help of virtual functions. In runtime polymorphism, an appropriate member function is selected while the program is executing. Function overriding is used to implement runtime polymorphism. Function overriding is the redefinition of base class function in its derived class with the same signature, that is same name, same return type and same number and type of arguments. So in this case, we have two classes, base and derived. Derived class is derived from base. We have virtual display function. This display function is preceded by virtual keyword. This display function is overridden in the derived class, so it has same signature as that of the base class. So both functions have same name, that is display. The return type is same, that is void, and both functions do not accept any arguments. Here in main function we have created object of derived class, that is derived1. Base1 is the pointer of base type. It points to derived object. This statement calls display function through a base pointer. So a virtual function is called through a base pointer. Now the type of object pointed to by this base pointer is checked. So the type of object pointed by this base1 is derived object. So a display function from derived class will be called and it displays derived function. Now to use the concept of virtual functions, we need to follow few rules. So the first rule is the virtual function must be member of some class. Now let's see this rule through a program. Here we have two classes, base and derived, and a display function. Now this display function is defined outside the class. So the class ends here and this display function is defined after the class declaration. So it is not a member of any class. So let's see whether the program executes. There is an error, virtual outside class declaration. So this virtual function should be a member of any class. So to make this as a member, we need to define it inside a class, or we may declare it inside a class and define it outside a class. So here we have defined it inside a class. Now let's check once again. Now there are no errors. Now here BP is a pointer of base type. B is object of base class. BP points to B and a display function is called through BP. Now the type of object pointed to by base pointer is of base type. So a display function from base class will be called. D is object of derived class. BP points to D and a display function is once again called through BP. Now this base pointer points to derived object. So a function from derived class will be called. So first a display function is called through base pointer, and base pointer points to B. So function from base class is called, and then function from derived class is called. Let's execute this program. So the output is in display function class base, in display function class derived. The next rule is a virtual function in a base class must be defined even though it may not be used. Now let's see a program. Here we have declared a virtual function display and it is defined in the derived class. It is not defined in the base class. There is just a declaration. So let's check whether the program executes. So there is an error. So we need to define this virtual function even though it is not required. So we may not have any statements here in this function, but we need to define this function. So the output is in display function class derived. So we need to define a virtual function in base class. The next rule is the prototypes of the base class version of a virtual function and all the derived class versions must be identical. If two functions with the same name have different prototypes, C++ considers them as overloaded functions and the virtual function mechanism is ignored. Let's see a program. Here both functions, means function from base class and in derived class, both have the same signature, that is the name is same, that is display, return type is same, and both functions do not accept any arguments. So the prototypes of these functions are same. If we change the prototype, means if this display function accepts one argument and if this function doesn't take any argument, then the prototypes will be different. So for overriding, we need to have same signatures for functions defined in the base and derived class. So if we have different signatures, then it is called as overloading of functions. And if we have same signature for the functions defined in base and derived class, then it is called as overriding of the functions. And for using the concept of virtual functions, we need overriding of the functions. Now pause the video and find the answer. Which of the following is true for virtual functions? A. Prototype must be different in base class and derived classes. B. Prototype must be same in base class and derived classes. The answer is option B. The prototype of the functions defined in the base class and in derived class have to be same. In this video, we have seen few rules for defining virtual functions. Thank you.